Welcome back. Our next segment is dealing with Walhachin, a community that is located 40 minutes west of Kamloops on the south side of the South Thompson River. They're having a fundraiser there coming up this Saturday, in fact, May the 4th. Joining us to talk about it today, we have Sue Nydam and we have Stephen Rice. You are the TNRD director for Area I.
Correct answer.
Fantastic. Did I say the right day for the fundraiser?
May 14th.
Okay, so I got that wrong. It's not this Saturday. It's May 14th. Thank you for correcting me.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about this fundraiser. Why are you having it?
Well, we're having it for two reasons. One is the hall has hardly ever been used for the last few years, so we want to get people to know about it and have fun. And the second thing is to raise some money for the museum, because we have a little museum there and lots of items from 1910, the era when the British were living there.
Right. Currently, as it stands right now, Sue was just telling me there are 32 people that live in Walhachin. Now, that is a very small number of people for a community.
Yeah, it's funny is when we have friends asking us, we say 32. They say, oh, 32,000? No,
right.
We say 32. No, 3,200? No, it's 32 people. It's very hard.
Yes.
There's about 40 buildings there, and that's about it.
Okay.
And,
the community used to be larger than it is now, and there's a history to that, and there's a reason why. We have some pictures that you graciously brought to us that we're going to go through, and as we do so, perhaps you can give us a little bit of a rundown about how Walhachin came to be.
Okay, the land around Walhachin used to be owned by a gentleman named Penny's, and this was the station, Penny Station, in 1905. And then in 1907, there was a land surveyor named Barnes who came there, and he thought, hey, this is great, let's develop it, let's do a land development. Mm-hmm. And his idea was to sell 5 and 10 acre lots to the British and then develop it. And so in 1910, Barnes with the BC Development Association built this town. And they basically, at its peak at 1910 to 1914, there were about 300 people living there, 150 British, 150 First Nations, Chinese, and farmers. Of those British, a lot of them were aristocrats, and they would come to Walhachin for the weather, for the tuberculosis, the consumption, and to play. And then in 1914, when the war was called, of the 107 able-bodied men, 92 enlisted. And that was the demise of the town. It just basically had no more working people, and it just sort of faded away.
So many of those 92 men that were original parts of the town, they did not return after the war.
Correct.
And so things were really hard to get back together after that.
You got it.
Keep the community rolling. What are we looking at here?
This is the town in 1910.
Okay.
At the beginning of the town. They changed the name from Penny Station to Walhachin, and the marketing brochure basically said Walhachin means land of plenty, when actually in First Nations it means land of round rocks. So the British used all sorts of tactics to entice Britons to come there.
Interesting. So these are some of the original buildings that are still there, is that right?
No, this was a hotel. It was built in 1910.
Okay.
It basically had a billiards room, a tea room, two dining rooms, and it was a formal dining room, for example, or a formal tea room too, where only the British aristocrats could go. They would wear their proper ties and dresses and everything. At 4 o'clock every day, they'd have tea. And then nobody outside of the area could come and stay there.
It was like a club.
Yeah. This individual is very important. His name was Gordon Flowerdew, a lieutenant, and he won the Victoria Cross. He was a British who came to Walhachin, was a butcher, and ran the grocery store. And the interesting thing is, before he went to war, he said to his friend that, look, the only way I'm going to win the Victoria Cross is I got to die. And so what he did was he was a lieutenant who did this charge on Muriel Hill in the First World War against the German artillery, and he actually defeated them but lost half his men and his life. But that apparently was how the war changed, the direction of the war.
Interesting. Great
There's
history.
so much history in this place.
No, there is truly, and I'm not sure how many more pictures there are, but...
This is Walhachin today, that's it, really.
And you know, I have gone through there. I actually went running through there one day, and it's just, you can almost feel like there's a history there that, you know, you want to learn more and understand what's going on, because it feels like it's been a bit abandoned. But there still are 32 people there. Of course, you're the director for Area I, TNRD, Stephen Rice. You live in Spence's Bridge, love the Desert Days Festival.
Got that out there,
yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's wonderful. It's anytime you get projects in a small rural community, it's a collaboration thing, and it's just a huge thank you and a shout out to all those people that went in there. MOTI went in there, the TNRD, the staff at the Thompson-Nicola Regional District, incredible. Our projects like this don't help. NDIT, Northern Development Trust, got to shout them out. They've been a great funding partner ever since they got elected. basically, you know, there's just so many people to thank. It's just amazing because something like this in these small rural communities don't happen without a lot of funding. You know, and this is a big funded project, but it's a federal government, a provincial government, a local government partnership through funding.
Okay, so this fundraiser is May 14th, and the money that is raised is going towards this building. Is that right? Preserving some of this. This is the museum. Is that correct?
This is the museum and the community hall.
Okay.
And this is the front of it. And then we have a stage, and the museum itself is around the hall inside, and then the middle part is sort of for the community use. And outside we have a pizza oven, barbecue, a chessboard, horseshoe pit, a beautiful deck in the back there. Every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock we have coffee out there.
Lovely.
And this is a picture of the whole hall as it is.
It takes money to preserve these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have to thank TNRD and Steve Rice for doing this because he's really focused and has a passion for keeping it going.
Which is fantastic. I think we have a poster that we're finishing off of. Here we are.
There we are.
You're invited for family fun Saturday, May 14th, and it's from 10 until 4. Great cause, free admission, and we hope that it goes really well for you. We're really glad you were able to be here on the show, the both of you today.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, great history here. There's a couple books as well. We had the author of this fellow on the show about a year ago, but a great, rich history to Walhachin. If you would like to check it out and learn more about Walhachin, you can attend this May the 14th. Information's on the screen. Friends at walhachin.net if you would like more information. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.